would sit down with artists just hanging out, chilling. We would talk about the trials and tribulations of the industry all the time.
I said, yo, look, man, let's do this. Let's do this song. And he was like, do you own your masters?
No way.
Unfortunately, all of us were signed to these really restrictive agreements where you can't get out of them until you deliver X amount of product.
I was like, I'm far from it, because I owe this label about 4 or 5 albums.
And that product would actually belong to the corporation that you're recording for. Ever since my third album, I wasn't really taking large advances from the recording companies. I was recording the albums myself in my own studio. So the way I looked at it, I owned the work because I paid for it. And I did all the work, I created it, so I felt like it should belong to me. Of course, they wouldn't change, because if they changed, they wouldn't really exist. And that's kind of the situation we're in right today. They're not going to exist much longer.
He was like, when you own your masters, give me a ring.
Yo, that's some real shit that Prince was talking about the music industry. It was the same stuff that Michael Jackson was talking about later in his career. And that's the real reason why they no longer here today. If you look up the cause of death of Michael Jackson and Prince, drug overdose. That's a hell of a coincidence. Two of the greatest artists ever, as big as they was, and they both died of drug overdose. Right after years and years of telling it how it is. Because Nas, him being a big fan of Prince, like everybody is, he wanted to do a song. He know it's gonna last forever. He gonna play it. He gonna be proud of it. The Prince like, look, I like you, but who you signed to? Do you own your masters? Like, who's gonna own this record that me and you do? And then Nas like, damn, I ain't think about all that. And then Prince like, yeah, when you own your own shit, then call me. Because what Prince was trying to do is what independent people do now. They drop some songs. If they pay for the recording, if they pay for the distribution, they own the masters. But these artists, especially back in the day, like in the 70s and 80s, artists ain't really had no information. But Prince and Michael Jackson was smart enough to realize they making billions while we making hundreds of thousands and a little bit of millions, because they own the music. They got the right to do whatever they want to their music, selling it to TV companies, movies. They could do whatever they want to do while they give us pennies to keep us quiet. But as soon as we want to do something different, they got the right to say if we can or can't do it with our own music that we record out our mouth. But when you go back and read the contract, you can't do nothing because you signed your rights away. And they give you that money, it's hush money. So they didn't want Michael Jackson and Prince to tell it how it is, because then the labels will crumble. They ain't gonna make no money. No money equals no power. And I respect what Prince was trying to do. He was trying to stop the music industry from stealing from artists, but unfortunately, one person or two people can't change it. Long as it's a broke artist that just want to sell their music to have the life of riches and fame, the record company is gonna always be in business. So you can't really fight a huge giant. Crazy, man. What y'all think about this, your boy B? Come on.